if people are really having a hard time with the submitting online or whatever, to me, it's just do whatever you can. If they want to bring it up to the school and leave it at the office and you're willing to go pick it up and do it yourself. I mean,
But
I
that's
don't know.
important. It's important if you don't want it, if you don't want to go to school,
right.
that's
It's
fine.
up to you.
Yeah,
it's up to you.
It's
yeah.
fine. Don't feel that you have to do it because no. If it's up to you, we don't want you. If you are virtual, we don't want you to go to the school. And no, it's not. But if you want to do it, that's fine.
If you have somebody that's really wanting to and you're willing, then really it's just whatever everybody's comfortable with, I think, this year.
Or if you have two hands, which unfortunately me and Walker don't have yet.
Well, we'll start today. Jan, can you try to introduce our staff for today, please?
Sure. So what Lorena's I think she's going to be sharing her screen a lot today, and then I'll try to talk through it, or she can interrupt me because she knows it better than I do, but I'll try to walk you through it as somebody who did it myself, who had never done it before either. But we're going to talk about, like you guys were saying, how to find the forms in the Google Drive after they've been submitted. If it's not working for you, Lorena can share her screen and kind of show you what to do. And then the other point we wanted to make is that we'll end up having 3 main folders. This is for people who have a lot of entries, who are trying to keep it organized. And then if you do it this way, then it just makes it that much easier for when you have the ones that you are moving on to district, because then you can actually just share your folder with the council if everything is in there. So will be 3 main folders that she's talking about. There's the folders for your school, and then there will be a folder for the judges, which will look a little bit different because we don't want anything but the artist statement being shown with the entry for that folder, and then a folder for the district for just the ones that will be moving on. Is that right, Lorena?
Yes.
Did I explain that right?
Yes.
And then one of the things I think I reposted on Facebook was that if you can get them to submit their entry form and their submission with their name as the file name, so it's like the name of the student, it was name, what was it, Lorena? I'm losing my notes here.
For you, they have to have the name and
the category.
Yes.
Yeah. So Jen Meisenheimer, underscore dance or something like that, and then Jen Meisenheimer underscore entry form. Form, yeah. That way, when they're uploaded, you can still match them. But if they're not that, and you can go in and just right click on anything and rename the folder or the file to make it a little bit easier to keep track of everything. So those were 2 things that had come up when we were talking. But okay, Lorena, do you want to show your screen if we want to talk about the Google Drive and the Google form?
Okay. I will show the Google Drive. Okay, you just talk and I will show them.
Okay, so the contact information folder is typically where your submissions, your Google Forms are going to go. And if somebody clicked, put their entry form, it would go into the entry form folder. Or if they did, do you have a sample in there?
I think the entry form, no, but I have an music sample.
So somebody submitted.
Well, that was. Oh. No, okay. But if they submit the entry form, they go here on the entry form. Okay, they put it in the entry form.
Yeah, there'll be a folder that was created when you made your Google Doc
Yeah.
or your Google form that says, that says contact information. If you go back to that previous screen,
That one.
yeah, that's where when we did our tests, it went into that contact information because that was the name of the Google form that we tweaked or, made our own, if that makes sense. If you watch the video and made one.
If you made a Google form, this is the way they will show you that one. And then if you click inside that one, they go the entry form, they upload the dance choreography, film, all the categories here. And then if the student is a number, is the name Hannah, they say visual art, Anna, that can be here. Anna, visual art, Anna, and then the entry form, they go here, they say Anna entry form. Here. That's it.
And then, so Lorena went in and made another folder, if you go back to that main page, that says district level, which will be for later, judging. And so for judging, I think you can go in there and just click new once you're in the judging folder, and you can create whatever folders you want.
Yes, if you press the button, the right button, they say new folder, and you can create another folder. You can put the number in the judging. We will make just number because we don't want the judges know the name for the student. And then we will create a number. I have a number 1 over there. We can make here the number 2. And we create another one. This is number 2.
So it's kind of like the form that you give us that you always do for the district, the advancing spreadsheet form. It's almost like you'll keep your own version of that for yourself. And you'll give each entry that you get a number, and the kid's name will be a number, and you'll have to keep track of them. You'll have your own sheet that says Johnny Smith is my number 1, and I have a number 1 entry and a number 1 entry form and a number 1 submission.
But the entry form is just a statement.
Right.
You don't have to put all the entry form. You just have to put the statement. Yeah, you can.
I was just going to say, if you get the entry form uploaded virtually, you can either do a screenshot of just the artist statement, or you can take a picture of it. As long as you label it.
If they're
number
here,
1. Yeah, Johnny Smith, and so that they go together. I know that
Can you remind me, I'm sorry, can you guys remind me if there is a form for the judges to judge?
Yes, so that is in the
packet.
Training packet that is on, if you're on our Facebook page, there's a thing at the top of the Facebook page that says files. And in the files, I uploaded it on August 26th if you want to look for it via the date. But there's a whole training packet, and there is an example of the judging form that shows them what the criteria and the rubric is.
Yeah, you can put here the number, the entry number, if there are 1 or 2 or 3 here. If you have more than 1 judge, you can put the number here. And then this is an example, or this is a suggestion. It's not like you have to do it, but it's a good example. Like and here explain the interpretation or the theme is the most important thing because they have 20 points. And then here is the creativity, and that is a good explanation and how they can do it.
And remind me again, what's the percentage that moves forward? I know this in the training packet. It's been a while since I read it.
This is 20%. Just the 20% of your school they can go to the
20% per category?
It's depend the amount you have. Like if you have so many literature, yes, it's for all of them. But if not, it's just the 20% for each category.
If you only have, let's say you have 20 total, but you have one film, one literature, I think Lorena, and then you have a bunch of visual arts. It's really up to you, but don't they typically go ahead and send the one, Lorena?
Yes, you can send all the, for example, if you have a 1 or 2 film, you can send you can send this too. But if you have 20 visual art, you can make the 20%, and that's 20 visual art.
Got it. Thank you.
It's not a perfect science because sometimes it is very uneven as to how many you get in each category, just depending upon the grade level and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I think we got a total of 8 last year at a junior high. And so we ended up sending all 8 because it was less than 10. And we had like across the categories, we had, 1 film, 1 literature, maybe 2 visual arts. So it really wasn't enough to quote unquote narrow down or judge, to make it 20% would have been nothing. So we just sent all.
That was my fear. I have 9 so far. We have a couple more days to get some more, but okay.
Yeah.
That's helpful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we are in the judging folder.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jen.
I was just going to say, so for your, for your own, yours says promotional, and let's just say on my screen, mine says Lake Highlands High School. So you're basically going to copy everything that you have for your high school into the judging folder, but you're going to, like I said, you're going to have to assign a number to each student, and they're going to have two files per student. They're going to have the entry form, and they're going to have their actual entry.
Yeah, the important thing here is you have to copy. Don't move it to the another folder, because you need the other folder for the district level. Okay, if you put the entry form and then or you rename the file, then you have to put the name again and find the entry form again. That's it.
Yeah, instead of dragging and dropping, basically.
Yeah.
That's going to move the whole folder over. You're going to want to copy it over to the judging folder.
Yes.
So that you can keep track of who is number 1, who is number 2, who is number 3, that kind of thing.
Can you clarify? So in the judging folder, you only want the file with the entry form, or because you said you need 2 files per student.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're going to either take a screenshot or a photo of just the artist statement, because remember, the judges aren't supposed to see all of the other information. That's why we used to fold those entry forms in half.
Yeah, you can make you can take a picture for the entry form just in the part for the statement, and upload here in this file. Or this is the example, like a music. You open music, and then this is the student number 1, and there is I don't know, it's John Smith. You say John Smith is number 1. It's John Smith, and then in the entry it's just number 1, but the entry for John Smith is this one, and the form is just the statement for John Smith here.
So basically, you have a master sheet that says John Smith is number 1.
Yeah,
and you're going to put
the other student is number 2, and here you will create you will copy the file for the other.
Okay, I understand. Okay, thank you.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
We
now-
went through
yeah,
this last
I
night,
understand it now.
and it is hard to, that's what I told Lorraine. I said, it's so hard to explain. It's so much easier when you're actually doing it than when you're
Yeah,
trying to explain it.
but we have a video that we will post today. Is this video? We have in YouTube, but Jen will put in Facebook too. And you can see like a step by step how to do it, and if you don't understand, you can go again and
Rewatch the video.
That's
Yeah.
what I tried with the first video.
All of the questions you're asking, I asked last night. It's like we went through a rehearsal and I said, okay, but what about this? And then Lorena's son made a great little video with some of those little nuances that I had asked that you are asking now. So it's helpful, especially if you go back and look at all the other videos that they created for how to do the drive, then how to do the form, and now how to manage the Google Drive itself. So.
Yeah, that's the other thing that's important. If you are organized with this one, that can be super easy, but if you have to follow all the steps for successful.
I have never used Google in my life, so all of this was brand new to me too. So, and I just literally had the video pulled up on one side of my computer and the Google Drive on the other one, and I just kept watching and pausing and watching and pausing and just doing every step he did, I'd pause and do it.
Well, that's what I did with the first video, and it just I don't know, I just could not get it to, Melissa was saying, I couldn't get it to, so finally I just sort of created my own little email to the art teacher and included like the entry form and the Park Hill Reflections Gmail I created.
Mm-hmm.
And I figure I'll just get them in that way. I know how to create the folders. It was that whole uploading thing that wasn't working for me.
If you don't have so many entries, it's fine to make the email.
Yeah,
okay. It's easy. It's fine, but they have more information through the Google form. It's just that, and now this part is super important for you, for the judging, because then you can share just the judging part with it's a link that you can share with the judging. If you are organized, that can be super easy. And if you don't have to send anything to them, it's just share the screen.
Right. There's a way to just share the judging folder with your judges. And that way they don't have to, they say, oh, that file's too big, I can't accept it through my email, things like that, that all of the entry forms and entries will be in the judging folder. So that's the one thing that will make this easier on you if you could, figure it out for later. And then
it's another way that you can share with the judges. This is a website. They go WeTransfer.com, and then here is super easy. You just have to put the email for the judges. You put your email address, and then you add the file. Like if you want to send 3 or 4 file or more, you can do. I think here is 3 or 4. Depend is the how big is the file, but you can send here 3 or 4, and then you just transfer to the judges. They can receive an email. A link. He can open the link, and then he can download the entries and everything. It's easy too. It's another.
It's just an alternate way. It's an alternate way to do it if the Google Drive's not working for you, is the WeTransfer. And one other thing that I ran into was when I created my Google form, because I never had a Google Drive before, I really didn't have any, what is it called, Lorena, when I needed to upgrade my storage or whatever.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And so
you
so
have
I
to
just,
add
yeah, you have to
more.
add storage so that your Google form will work. It was only $2.99 from $2.99 for me to upgrade it to like 100 gigabytes or something, which will be, I think, more than I need. And you can always cancel it, or you can charge that to, Reflections if you want to charge back the Google Drive
Yeah,
storage.
it's here in the manage your Google account, and then you go account storage, and then they will show you what do you have, and then they say if you want more storage, they have just $2, or if you want more, there is 200 gigabyte for $3, or 2 terabyte for $9 a month. You can use this one.
My Google form kept saying your form, something about I couldn't use my form because I didn't even have enough to to submit my, when I was trying to play with it, I couldn't even submit one form because I didn't have anything near enough to do that. So as soon as I upgraded my storage to that $1.99, I started sending from different email addresses, and it worked just fine. So
Yeah,
that's that might be something else somebody's running into. If you're like, I'm not getting these on my Google Drive, maybe there's an issue with the storage.
Yeah, and it's cheap. It's cheap. You can charge to the school that amount is.
Yep. I forgot to mention that earlier. That could be a problem. That could be one of the issues you might be having, is that you just don't have enough storage for it to go to your Google Drive, if that makes sense.
When you finish the judging part, and the judges say music, the number 2 and the number 5 is they are go to the district. You will put here, and the district level. There is another folder, district level. Here, you have to put again music, all the categories here again. Okay, create a folder, new folder, again, music, and then you will put all the music that you have here. You will create again, sorry, here you don't create, here you can draw, how do you call, sorry for my English. You will move the first entry that you receive, the entry that you receive with the name and everything. You will put it here in this folder, and then you will put the name, the number, the school number. Let me see. We have here. Remember this one in the packet, like how we put in the other year. For example, if you are Apollo, you are number 2. The school number yours is number 2. That means you will put number 2 entry, and here they have to say in the entry, the spreadsheet that you will send us, they have to be in order. Like the entry is, your entry is number 1. That means number 2, number 1, John Smith. There's confusion.
Hey, Lorena, why don't you scroll back up to that thing?
Yeah.
So we're going to have to basically put the information that's on here as the file name. So you're going to have, let's say 30 was Merriman Park's school number, right?
That is here, Merriman.
So Merriman Park was 30. So you're going to have, when you give us just what's coming to district, you'll put in the file name, the school number, and then the number that is on your advancing spreadsheet,
Yes.
the number that the kid is on your advancing spreadsheet, just like this label. You're just going to have to do it as the file name.
Yeah.
Lorena, do you have a copy of the advancing spreadsheet? Or no?
Yes, but let me see.
Just is everybody that's on here, have you done it before?
No, this is my first time.
Okay.
This is my first time too.
Okay. All of these documents are on the Facebook page. Is everybody on the Facebook page? Are you all members of the Reflections Facebook group?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Is this one? This is sorry, it's a little bit slow. This is spreadsheet. This is on the district. Too.
It is. It's on that membership toolkit page, the Reflections page, as well as the Facebook page in the files. And if I just posted this for, maybe it was Cheryl who had just come in, where I said, there's two places you can find all of this information, either in the files on the Facebook page or on that membership toolkit site. All of these files are already there, so you don't have to recreate them.
So do you want a complete spreadsheet like in years past? Can't we just do a complete spreadsheet and put it in the district folder?
Yes. Yes, you have to put on the district folder. But you have to send us before that. You have to send that.
The little square box that
Yeah,
you talked about.
Yeah, you have to send us that in the December 1st.
Okay.
This spreadsheet with all your numbers here, with all your students. Like here's the number, and you have the student name here. You have to fill it out, all the information. But this is the number. Like we say here, the 30 is 5. That means it's 5. That can be this.
Right, that would have been number 5, that kid. So it would be 30 would have been for Merriman Park. 5 would be for this student.
Yes.
But we only need to send the bottom part. We don't need to put the school name too.
No, okay. You just have to. You have to fill it up, all this page. That you say, Sure.
Like in the past when we would sticker the back of the piece. Now that we don't have the piece, do we just in the district folder send you the 30-5 or whatever ours is? Do we need to put on top of that Park Hill Junior High, whatever their number is? 20-5?
Yes. District level here, and this district level.
Yeah, I was just trying to clarify if we needed like everything but the sticker or just the bottom part, the numbers.
No, if you put here the district level and you put, for example, for you, I will put it here. Rename district level Park Hill. Okay, and say okay. That can be here, and then when I open here, they have to. Here is the music, for example. But you already sent us your spreadsheet in the December 1st.
Right.
And then you will put here your student, the folder for your student folder number, student John something, John. Great. But the student name, the student, the entry, they have to be 30 and the number.
Okay. I understand.
Yeah.
That's what the file name will be. Yeah.
Okay. I think I understand that.
I have a quick question. If we're not doing the folders, I really don't. I'm hoping to get one entry. Y'all know my circumstances, but if I'm just sending that over, do I just email it to where do we email that? Like,
You can, yeah,
You can
we'll
email
take
to
care of
us.
it.
You can
that should be
email to us.
reflected in
Yes,
email?
but
Okay.
you have to put the same thing.
It's the same, yeah. Identify it the
same-
same way, but just email it to you guys.
Yes, yes,
And we'll take care of putting it
If we're-
in the folders.
Okay. Thank you.
yeah.
Perfect.
If you don't have so many, it's easy to receive in the email. That's fine.
Yeah.
We will put in our folder.
Yeah.
It's just if you have so many and it's too heavy to send it,
Mm-hmm.
we can do it that way.
Yeah, if the
Okay.
files are too big or something, you can email it. And if not, we could do the retransfer thing if that's easier.
Yeah.
And we can
Yeah.
just download it into our district folder.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I
And
ask a
yes,
question?
yes, and
I'm very, very new to this and very, very late in the game, but
That-
I do have several people who are interested in entering. How do I know that they're entering? How do I know they're submitting something?
you did the Google form?
No. Do I need
No.
to do? Is
No.
that what I need to do?
No, but
I have not done anything other than send in the newsletter all the information for where they need to submit or get their forms.
Anna's the one that just jumped on board. You're for Lake Highlands Junior High, right, Anna?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. And
But
if you're
wait,
in, if
can I-
she's in,
Can
Oh, go ahead.
I ask you something? What is the information you put for, or you give to the student?
So
What do
the
you say?
information that I put in, Jen, I actually found yours at the high school and I borrowed yours.
oh, okay.
So it's a
But-
membership toolkit, RISD PTA membership toolkit.
And what do you put when they want to submit?
The only thing I said was if they had any questions was to email me
Okay.
and that they were to look up the entry form into that membership toolkit link.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. The thing is, they will ask you how to do it, and they can send it to you, and it's fine. Like it's no problem if they send you for your email, but we told just minutes ago, if you have so many, it's better if you do it the Google Drive, because you need a space to put it and then share, because it's so many and it's difficult to send it.
I think Anna's
I have
probably
a feeling
expecting
we're
less
going to be a
than
pretty
10.
small group this year.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'd love to do it again next year.
And if you, like I said, you can do it through email or the WeTransfer. If you only have, less than 10,
Okay.
we can definitely help out and get it to our drive when needed. So.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah, I
could
don't.
email
Oh,
it
sorry.
to me.
I'm Christina. I'm at
Christina, yeah.
an elementary school, and we don't have any entries yet. We've done a lot of promoting, but the art teacher and I have given links to the parents and the teachers, and then also said they could email us. And then I was going to go ahead and set up a drive, but the art teacher has been really helpful. She's taken the entries that have been like paper in the past and kind of helped organize them. So if any come through that way, then they can contact your art teacher. Is kind of how they've always done it at my school.
Yeah, that's
So.
good. Yeah.
For a smaller number.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we hope we get a few. I think they had 20 something last year, but we don't have any this year. So kind of with the same, we've done the
We
same
will-
promoting, but
We'll take what we can get this year.
yeah, that's what the
Everybody-
art teacher said.
Everybody's
So.
so overwhelmed. I mean,
Yes.
the art teachers are having a hard time, even
Yes.
if they're veterans, they're just so overwhelmed with everything.
And it's new for us too. Like I am in the district like 8 years, and all this is new for me too. Not the rules, not the how the kid can participate or how the judges judge. It's just all this virtual is so weird and it's so difficult to process, and we try to figure it out in the moment. It's so difficult. Now now, like I received 2 days ago a newsletter for the virtual principal. So, oh, we have a principal for all the students that they go virtual. If I know that, maybe we have to go for that person.
Right. I know what you're talking about, Lorena. I've got a virtual kiddos too, and I had never seen that virtual newsletter until a few days ago. If we had known about the overall virtual principal, we could have promoted
in that way
through that newsletter. Yeah, at the very beginning. So I think, the virtual kiddos are definitely feeling a little bit like the stepchild kind of. It's just a little bit out there right now. So
and I have my daughter is virtual, but she is an art this year, and all the face-to-face kids, but they participate in reflection, and she didn't know, and it's my daughter. It's weird. It's difficult for all of us. I think it's new, and we have to figure out how to do it and do the best, I think.
Yeah, we got lucky because Park Hills, I had worked with her before, and she made it an assignment for all her students.
Yes.
And virtual and the ones in the class. And luckily my daughter is a virtual in her class. And she created a whole assignment form on her own and then said, encouraged them to enter. And she said about 90% of them want to enter them. So
that's great. That's great. If the teachers are getting involved, that's awesome.
Classes she's teaching of art, so if that'll just involve because I know she does painting and other things too, but I don't know if she did it in those mediums as well. But it's just luck of the draw.
And I have to contact the principal 2 times the last 2 weeks, because I try to remember. Hey, can you please talk with your teachers? Please make sure they do a reflection. The principal have to push the teacher to do it, and it's the only way that we have in home. Because it's not we go and talk with the teachers and try to figure out something, but now it's we are at home. It's weird. It's the principal, I think, the best option to go with them, and the teacher help us.
Yep.
Yeah.
For you guys that are new, I know we've got 2 really newbies on. Are there other questions? Because I know this is probably overwhelming if you're just getting started. Are there any other questions that we can help you with at the moment?
Y'all have done a good job. I mean, thankfully I've done it before, so I know kind of the drill, but I think you hit the nail on the head with everyone being so overwhelmed and everything. I think it's going to be a stretch this late in the game, how late in the game we are, but we're gonna try.
I think that's the spirit. We have to try. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want at least the kids to have the opportunity. I know that was my main thing. Some opportunity is better than it not being offered. So, and who knows, we might have those couple kids that are real go-getters in a couple weeks, and there we go. But no, I did want to say, the Facebook page is awesome, and you guys have been so organized and stuff is super helpful. Even the training packet this year, I was like, yes, that is a one-stop shop. So thank you for doing that and for putting all the effort in, despite all of our circumstances this year. So, and for answering my distress calls when I was like,
that's fine.
It's several of my distress email or Facebook posts this week as well. I still don't know really if I told that girl about the one 3D visual arts thing. I suggested photography. I didn't know what else to do.
Yes.
That's the best thing you can do, because they're not allowed to do
and that she could still enter. She still, luckily with me having a November 14th deadline, she still had enough time. If she wanted to do another fine arts piece, she could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I did have a question about that one because I thought you can glue stuff. It just can't be 3-dimensional.
Yes.
So it can be, it still has to be kind of flat. And I know my art teacher is trying to suggest as flat as possible because she's going to, if for anybody who brings it to her, she's going to scan it.
Yeah.
That's great.
So,
That's awesome.
The art teacher thought that it was, and then when she went back and looked at it, she was like, "Oh, maybe it's a little taller than I thought."
Yeah.
And so,
And they have in
ordered
the
it.
end of the page, they have something outside the page, and if they can be that way either.
Yeah, and I had never seen one done on cardboard before, because it looks like the girl was probably did it on cardboard.
Mm.
Usually I'm used to seeing, the big flat pieces of art, paper.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, does that count it too? Is that as the backdrop? And I had to really think that one and go back and read the rules again. It had been a few years since I'd been meticulous about reading the rules. You kind of get used to it, and then this threw me a loop, this whole virtual.
But the national, they accept that kind of the 3D. The thing is that Texas don't accept that, and if the Texas don't accept that, we can do it either because we are disqualified for that.
Lorena, maybe we need to work on that.
I told you so many times in the Texas, but they say when they send all the material to the national, most of the time the 3D they fall out, and it's super difficult to stand in the good standing all the 3D.
They just weren't getting there in one piece, and it was it was
Yeah.
losing its integrity with each time it came to us, and then it went to them, and then it went to nationals. It just kept, the integrity kept losing. Same thing happened when somebody did a really excellent, like a chalk drawing. It was beautiful, but every time it got sent to the next person, even though there was a layer over it, everything, it starts to get smudged, or, so you don't want to lose the integrity of the piece.
Okay.
So I think that's
I was
Texas.
just trying to give Lorena a new job,
Because she needs more to do.
trying to kind of branch her out.
But if you need something, or if you have question when you watch the video that we will post tonight, if you have question, let us know. We can help you. We can answer the question. It's not when you see the video and you go like a step by step. I think it's easy to understand, and it's like I would say before. If you have a few, just send for email is fine, and you don't have to create anything. But you have to put the school name and make sure your spreadsheet is in good standing. And then when we receive that, and we will ask you. I think Jen is the December 4 or 5 check-in.
The 4th, I think.
4th? Okay.
It was first for the spreadsheets, and 4th for the check-in.
Yeah, and that day, if we have any question or something is not matched with something, we will call you to do a Zoom meeting, and we will organize again and see if they're good or not. If you don't receive any call, that means your entry, that's fine.
So on the first, we're sending you guys the spreadsheet with all the information, plus access to the Google folder of the art pieces that qualified, or we don't send you that?
No.
Just the spreadsheet.
Just the spreadsheet on the 1st.
So you don't need to see any of the pieces.
Correct.
Okay.
Just in the 4th, we will you will start to send us your share or your entry in the email, whatever you decide to do it. But just in the 4th, and you have to put the school and the school name in the folder, because we will receive a lot of different schools. We don't want to mess it up. And that's the reason if you share with us your folder, you have to put the spreadsheet inside.
So I have a question about that. When we send it to district, the entry form, do you guys want the whole form or just the artist statement?
The whole form.
The whole form.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The justice statement is for the judging.
For
your
the judging. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
And you won't even have, if you don't have more than 10 entries or so, that you might not even have to worry about that.
Oh,
Right.
I think it's better if now I figured out.
It would actually be good if we got both.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if we had the whole thing and you already had a version of just the artist statement, then we can do that the same.
Yeah, we can
for our
use
judges.
our judges. Yeah.
For the for the district judges.
Yeah, that can be good. If you send the statement separate for the
On the form.
Yeah.
But if you don't do it, the judging,
Then don't
just
worry about it.
don't worry about it. Just send the whole thing.
Shireen,
So
have-
when do we
have-
share that? When do we share that with you guys? So we said that December 1st is just the spreadsheet, but when do we share is it all digital? If they move to district still, and when do we share the forms and the pieces with you guys?
That will be on the 4th, and that will still be digital at that point. Yeah. And then pretty much everything can be digital except for visual arts. The visual arts that move on to state, those are the only ones we'll have to gather in, the actual piece.
Yeah, that's the date here, and we have the December 4th. Send and submit the entry form. Can be this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
If
that'll give
yeah.
us a few days to look at, what people are sending us. And then if we have any questions, we'll be contacting you between the 4th and
the 7th.
the 7th. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shireen, how's RHS? Have you gotten much or have heard from many?
Well, I discovered on this call that I don't have access to the responses. So, so I sent an email to Mindy. I was like, oh, so I can see the form, but I can't see the responses. So she said I was an owner, but I can't see it. On the MST side, I will probably get literature because it is an assignment. That teacher always does it. And I think there might be some physical ones. I haven't received anything digitally yet, so I'm hoping to get a few.
Yeah.
Last year, on the visual arts side, I didn't have to do judging. We didn't have that many per grade. And we did do it for the literature. And then the same thing with Westwood. We did do the judging because we had like 2 extra visual arts, or I can't, one of them, photography or visual arts. But the rest of it, we were able to move forward.
Great.
That's awesome.
My daughter's definitely sending something in for film for Richardson. So
Okay.
it'll probably
Well, that's what
be
I was thinking.
on your due date. It'll be on your due date at midnight. If I know her.
I've had a couple of students reach out, and that's when when you guys were talking, I was like, oh, let me see if anything's come in yet. And then I realized I can't access it. But I set up the form for MST. My folders aren't showing up, but I'm not that worried about it because I won't get that many. And the same thing with Westwood. It's just not, they don't have a requirement in the arts department to do them. So it's usually just a few folks.
Well, I have a feeling we're going to rebroadcast for Lake Highlands this week because our initial due date was going to be the 9th. And we'll see because we've gotten one. So,
yeah. Well, last year I ended up, when we could actually see people, I pushed my due date back and I had an art workshop the Sunday of the beginning of Thanksgiving break. And that's where I got most of them. I just had a bunch of kids come over and I got a lot of them that way. And then the literature, the teacher already had, but the visual arts I got from the workshop. I think I got one or two that weren't in the workshop. So if you have to push it, I mean, as long as you can get your spreadsheet done, if you know
Right.
somebody's out there, if somebody emails you and says, I have a piece coming, I would
Yeah.
just accept it. Not going
Agreed.
Yeah.
to be a hardliner on the deadlines.
No, definitely not.
Christina.
Yes.
Christina, you are in the elementary school now?
Yes, it's North Lake.
North Lake. If you have, you know that you have primary, secondary, what is the category? Let me see.
Yeah, it goes through K through 6.
Yes.
They have pre-K too, but yeah.
Yeah, that means your 20% most of the time is you can send a lot because it's, you know.
Yeah, I
it's some-
think Miss Temple said last year I think maybe they all advanced.
Yeah.
So in that case, we don't have to do the judging, or okay.
Nope.
But if we have a higher number, then we need to do the judging. Okay.
Yeah. That,
So if you have more than 6 per grade level, right? You'll have
More than
to
6
do,
per grade level. Okay.
You'll have to do the 20%. So if you end up with 10, you'll have to do some ranking or have somebody do the judging and figure out which ones are going to go.
Okay.
yeah, and then you can just use 2 judges to decide if you have 10.
Okay.
Or,
I mean, your other issue is that some of those people will not be PTA members. So that also, if you can't get them to sign up, you can either sponsor them. So that's what we did at Westwood. Westwood had student memberships. So we did that at MST. I ended up, I think, sponsoring one of them because.
Yeah, that's what Miss Temple said. We can just help them sign up if we have to.
Yeah.
I think she's had to do that before. So to
but
get it to go on. Yeah.
It's just the kid, the advanced for the district level, you have to take care for them. The other one, that's fine.
Yeah, when you guys were talking about parent signatures earlier, I was going to bring that up. Really and truly, we only need those, the parent signature and the PTA membership verified for the ones that are moving on to state. So, if for some reason we're having a hard time getting parent signatures, Lorena, I don't know if we can call and say, like, we'll sign, but verified by so-and-so, if it's really difficult to get a parent signature.
I told my teacher to just put, if they were virtual, to have their parent type it in and say virtual student or something in parentheses. And for the ones in school, if they weren't taking them home, if everything was being done and sent at school, to just put on file, because I knew it wasn't a requirement at this beginning level. And if we needed to, we could then go back and do repeat all the information on the same entry form and have the signature then.
Yeah.
I just felt premature to be getting parents to try to rush for a signature and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. If not, we can do the initial too, like mine is LS. We can do that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's Pierce going? You getting entries, Lorena?
Pierce? We have now 30 something, but it's the photography and visual art. And I have, I think, 4 in literature.
What's the deadline for you?
This week.
Oh, because I have a pre-AP art student in art and painting in the other room who's not participated.
Oh, yeah, make sure.
Are you willing to give her a few extra days if I hound her?
Yeah, of course. I will tell the teacher if they need more time. I can do it. It's just I put an early date because I didn't know if this work for them like that way. And if, for example, the last year, not the last year, the year before.
Yeah, we swapped last year. I was here last year.
The year before, I have 50 something, and I have so short time to do the judging. That's the thing I put early date.
Oh, you beat me. I got 5 entries there last year.
Yeah.
I have to go, but I have to show you guys. This is what this 4-day weekend looks like in my family. My kids doing their reflections.
Oh, that's so cute.
They're doing the
That's great.
reflections. It's a long weekend, so it's a perfect time
Yeah.
to work on
Yeah.
them. But also deadline is Wednesday, so I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
It's time.
it's time.
I think most kids need to feel like they're under the gun before they'll actually get it done.
My junior high, she's already finished, and hers was I don't know if her artist statement, I don't know if she really grasped the concept of the theme, and I actually had to call the counselor and tell her to not worry about. The art teacher made her make 10 ideas of why they matter, and one of hers she wrote was, "I don't harm myself anymore." And what she meant to say was, "I don't let things upset me anymore." And I had to preempt the call to the school counselor, like, this is not what she's trying to say. And the art teacher called me the other night. She goes, "Oh, I'm so glad that when I went into the counselor, I was already calmed down, because I don't know if she's grasped this whole thing at all."
Yeah.
I don't know why it's a topic for her.
Yeah.
Trying to get it from theme to paper, it's just.
It is it's pretty abstract. I have one kid that totally loved it and one kid that just kept going, "I don't know what to do for this. I don't know what to do. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do for this." So.
Yeah, I think it's very similar to when they did the Artists Within theme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a very sort of, an internal thing, and how do you put that on paper or in at least I think for the younger kids, I don't know, Christina, is the younger kids maybe challenging for them trying to,
I told the elementary school kids to, if my daughter had painted, I don't know, something in a sea theme camp over the summer, and I was like, "Oh, that would be a pretty one for reflections or whatever. Like, what do you think the theme should be?" And she was like, "I matter because I'm the ocean and the animals live there." And I was like, if your 6-year-old says that, write it down. I mean,
So
it's a very broad theme. It may not necessarily have to be personal. I mean, it's just more about kind of pulling those things together. So I was kind of
drawing like a hand with tears coming on the hand, but the hand was all red, and I was like, "Well, what is it?" She goes, "Well, I guess the hand's the pain, and the tears are the tears, and then in the corner it's like sunshine or something."
Oh, cool.
But it's pretty I was like, "Well, really work on that art." I mean, I feel like the mother who's been doing reflections too long.
Yeah.
It's really, really important, and I'm like, you probably really need to explain how that goes along with it.
But the good thing is we are 20 chair. We have 20 entries because the kid for
One for
our
kid.
one for kid, our daughter, our son.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
But I can't believe my sophomore who's in pre-AP 2 art classes has done nothing. I think she's too overwhelmed with the work they give her virtually.
Yeah.
Yeah. My son would have, I'm still trying to get him to do something because he's virtual and he is on the computer from 9 to midnight.
No,
gosh.
it's just, and we had AT&T outages. I had 4 AT&T texts last week. You know how many classes I had to send notes constantly? Wi-Fi is out, make them asynchronous, just over and over again. I thought, we finally took a picture of the AT&T truck and sent it to the teachers because we were afraid they were going to think we were making this up. I mean, it was just unbelievable. So
Yeah.
we'll see if it's really fixed now.
Anna, you have a question, Anna?
And if you guys have any questions and you don't,
Sorry.
please feel free to contact us if you just want a one-on-one. We can FaceTime. We can, do a smaller Zoom. We can just try to talk to you over the phone. Just whatever. It's it's crazy.
Jen, if I run into a problem trying to redo this.
Yeah, we can do it.
Yeah, and
We're gonna do it with you.
Lorena's son is a whiz. So if on the everything Google.
Yeah.
I
That's
spoke to him yesterday because I had never done any of this before, and I wanted to see what it was like to create it from scratch. And my few questions, like I said, he quick made a video that we'll post tonight based on my questions.
Yeah.
So they're going to feel like it's a little bit, I'll explain that these questions are a little bit all over the place. It's not like a video that's going to show you how to do something, but it was typical questions that you might have.
I'm going to check that storage first because that may be the problem.
Do check
Yeah.
the storage. That helped me a lot when I just bumped it to the, you know, the first level. So
Yeah.
And for the new folks, it sounds overwhelming, but I think the instructions are pretty helpful. And you know, Lorena was very helpful last year when I messed up all my labels.
Good to know.
we're very
I did
forgiving.
it
They're
totally
very,
the opposite of what I was supposed to do. I was like just rushing. I was like, oh, okay, let's
6
redo
years
these.
ago, I was talked into doing reflection for the first time at Park Hill, and I did know Lorena, and I met her at Starbucks, and she gave me all her training stuff, and I've been just passionate about it ever since. But I remember sitting at a table in the cafeteria my first year going, nobody's coming up to me, nobody's turning in entries, and I didn't get one entry. And I remember feeling so like I let everybody down, but it happens. And
This happens.
and you know what? I had a year at Park Hill. I had 220 entries
Yeah.
one.
oh, wow.
Yeah, and I mean, oh yeah, I had stacks of literature and artwork, and then we switched because my kids went. I had a gap year at Park Hill, and I took over at Pierce, and I got 5 entries. And so, you know, you have good years and you have bad years, and you do the best you can, and
Yeah.
and you know, it all works out. You know.
Yeah.
Anna, did you
I'm
find
sorry.
the training packet, Anna?
What's that?
Did you find the training packet since you're
I
brand
did.
new?
I have it
Okay, good.
right here.
Yay.
Yeah, and it's
Very helpful.
and this year is weird, but I hope the next year that can be like the other years, and it can be more
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well, it wasn't really just that. It was because the previous board member who was in the spot I'm in now didn't really do it at all.
Oh.
They didn't participate. And when I reached out to the art teachers, their comment was, we're not having competitions this year. So, and we have a new principal, and he was really interested in wanting to know about reflections. But at that time I said that the board member who I talked to previous said they didn't participate. So I don't know if we really do. And then a few weeks later, I got a message from a parent whose daughter actually wanted to enter. So that kind of sparked me to back to life and hope to introduce it to other people.
Yeah,
That's
that's
great.
awesome. Awesome. That's the spirit that we need.
Yeah, our school
Yeah, right.
is you know, if it's not STEM related, they're not as excited about it. So we really get most of them from the teacher involvement.
Yes.
I mean, the newsletters go out, and the principal is including it. So, and we have a new art teacher, so she was pretty excited. So I think she's talking to the students about it. But I'm pretty sure I'll get entries from at least 5 people who do it every year.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's
You know?
what you need. Yeah.
And I might get, you know, and then we'll get a couple from the 4th grade from the literature because the teachers made it a requirement, and we'll send them over. And then whoever advances, we'll try to get, if they're not a PTA member, we try to get them on. Last year we got like 15 new PTA members.
That's awesome.
So that was
Good
great.
job. Yeah.
And that's pretty much our push. And, you know, in a normal year, I would probably try to do this earlier in the semester, like right at the beginning of the year, and then showcase them. The one thing I was upset with, so I did do that art night. Yeah, well, I had a whole issue with, you know, family disturbance earlier in the month, so I forgot to get ready for that meeting until like the day before. And then I was like, I should have pulled out all these pictures of like the artwork and the ribbon. I don't have any of my ribbons. They're all at school, so like I can't get to them.
Well, guys, I have a huge box.
Yeah.
So
No, I just can't get to my PTA closet. You know, I haven't been on
I can
campus.
put any on the porch when we get to that point for anybody who needs them.
And we will post the email and the information for the ribbon person. If you will give some ribbons to the student, you can do certificate or ribbons. That's fine. It's up to you.
Yeah.
Like now is virtual. You have to send it to the house. That can be another thing. Because if the student is virtual, they don't go to the school. Okay, we have to send
Right.
it out. If they are face to face, we can send to the school and give to the teacher to give them.
But I would have liked to, you know, in retrospect, I should have had one of my kids talk about why they like doing it and the awards that they've received and going to the event at the district. So
Yeah, we will try to make some cool exhibition this year, different, but something cool for the recognition. But it's all different, you know. We have to figure out the way to do this.
yeah, for my older kid, I'm just going to tell him, like, you need to submit something so you can at least apply for the scholarship in 4 years.
Yeah. And the other thing is that because we don't expend too much money and this reflection this year, maybe we can give a gift card for one of the students, like make some how you say, I don't know how you say that, when you pick it up one, like you put all the numbers and then
The raffle.
yeah, like at the raffle, the all participation, and you have one gift card for Starbucks or for Cane's or something like that, like a $20, something like that, like just something simple, like for the school, for the student who participate in something. Like we don't spend too much money, just send it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
my motivation to my art teacher was the $25 gift card for the teacher that turns in her entries first.
That was a good idea. That's a good idea.
I know.
That's a great
I
idea.
did a small budget for Park Hill this year because our big event fundraiser every 4 years is the Election Day bake sale, which I'm also in charge of because I'm a baker. And unfortunately, we are not doing the Election Day bake sale,
Oh yeah.
which worked out in my benefit since I broke my leg. So
Yeah.
I don't know how well I would have done at the event this year, but you know, so we raise like $3,000 every year,
That's
every
awesome.
4 years when we do it. So
Yeah.
yeah, we lost that event, so the budgets were kind of small this year.
Yeah. Well, if you need something, if you have some ideas too, please share with us. Or if you need help, just tell us. If you need help with the judges, to find judges, just tell us. We can try to help. And we'll see in the road.
What we get.
Okay.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for
Thank you.
Thank you.
coming on. We
I
appreciate
appreciate it.
everything you're
Yeah.
doing.